Guess I gotta hit him with the update. I been getting to it when I'm up late. Hit it when you went the front gate. They act like that, hold up. Guess I gotta hit him with the update. Really with it, I ain't got a pump fake. Killer flow and hit him with the one take. Act like that, Guess I gotta hit him with the update. I been getting to it when I'm up late. Yes, sir. Hit it when you at the front gate. Act like that, Guess I gotta hit him with the update. Really with it, I ain't got a pump fake. Killer flow and hit him with the one take. Please tell me what's to them boys. I know they ain't talking about me. Hold up. All up in the DMs for the feature. I know they ain't talking about free. Shorty, no lie, no leap. I ain't gon' lose no sleep. You don't hop in this Jeep. What you gon' sow, you gon' reap. Bet I'm gon' kill what I eat by the end of this beat. Put a little honey in my tea. Put a little pep in your step. I bet on my soul we feast. Bet you don't go. I bet you don't know these freaks. Gotta hit in that note on key. Put it on baby, on mammy, on God, on me. You not no G. I be in the spot low key. I been at the crib, probably wonder how I got your key. They act like they ain't know it. Guess I gotta hit them with an update. I been getting to it when I'm up late. Hit it when you went the front gate. They act like they ain't know it. Guess I gotta hit them with the update. Really with it, I ain't got a pump fake. Killer flow and hit them with the one take. Act like they ain't know it. Guess I gotta hit them with the update. I been getting to it when I'm up late. Hit it when you went the front gate. Act like they ain't know it. Guess I gotta hit him with the update. Really with it, I ain't got a pump fake. Killer flow and hit him with the one take. Please tell me what's to these lanes. They must be out of their mind. Must be. All up in that face tryna hit up. I know he ain't talking about mine. Put in that work on my grind. Put in that purp in my lung. I'm putting that work on her spine. Put a little drink on my tab. Long as she working that back, I ain't hurting, I'm fine. I bet I gon' earn it right back. Just hit up my jack. Got him working my line. I stay in my lane. I ain't even tripping off yours. I'm too worried about mine. You not on no rise. Ain't having no motion. We so tired of your lies. Ain't one of your guys. Can't fit in my shoes. Little buddy, them not of your size. They act like they ain't know it. Guess I gotta hit them with an update. I been getting to it when I'm up late. Hit it when you went the front gate. They act like they ain't know it. Guess I gotta hit them with the update. Really with it, I ain't got a pump fake. Killer flow and hit them with the one take. Act like they ain't know it. Guess I gotta hit them with the update. I been getting to it when I'm up late. Hit it when you at the front gate. Act like they ain't know it. Guess I gotta hit them with the update. Really with it, I ain't got a pump fake. Killer flow and hit him with the one take. Yeah, look, ayy, stay on leash for the energy. I ain't worried, give a fuck about the enemy. Beat it, got them thinking it was 10 of me. That's why tonight I'm on the weed, not the Hennessy. Lying, but I tell you how it really be. Dropping game, I could sprinkle for infinity. I'm the player of the year if I do say. Cause I treat a Saturday like a Tuesday. Came through with the sauce for the soul food. Eat good, smoke great, that's a whole move. Whole time, half time for the smoke break. In the mission, from the mission for the long cake. Laced up, rope chain, got my tongue tied. Top down, out, let them sun dry. I'm that and I said it before I had proof. Can't believe it till they see it, that's a sad truth. Hey, I be out of town, out of time, out of blood rush. You be out of line, out of bounds, out of comeback. Yes, sir. I be out of town, out of time, what it does at. Yeah. You be telling lies in your rhymes, where your funds at. Mailbox money in my real name. 30 years old and they still lame. Tryna kick it in the H like a field goal. Touchdown with finesse, that's a heel toe. Look, what you thought? Think better. Sundress, no drawers, got the seat wetter. Got my suede jumpsuit for the wind chill. Hot girl, but she blowing like a windmill. Truly, I ain't got a flex for the routine. Too clean with a plate full of poutine. Worrying about me can't help you. Way better when it's heard and it's felt too. Get my weed from the west, gold from the south. Show 'em how to make them triple O's from the couch. Counting on luck ain't a life plan. I might have the last laugh for a lifespan. Hey, I be out of town, out of time, out of blood rash. You be out of line, out of bounds, out of comeback. Yes, sir. I be out of town, out of time, what it does at. Yeah. You be telling lies in your rhymes, where your
Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy Rob coming back at you once again with another live stream. So before we get started, you already know what to do. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the bell icon twice. Smash the like button, share this video out to all of your followers, and let's get it cracking. All right. So shout out to everybody who's in the room. Hopefully, you guys can hear me okay. It's great to see you guys. If you can hear me, please give me a thumbs up or radiation emoji in the chat. If you guys cannot hear me or it sounds distorted, bad, low quality, whatever, give me a thumbs down and I will try to work on it. All right. I'm going to shout out everybody who's in the building. We got Torian Rain. Shout out to you, bro. We got Al McCowan in the building. We got DC Precise up in here. Shout out to John Guillory. And that is it. All right. So shout out to everybody that's in the building. If you guys, did I say Brooklyn Queen? We got Brooklyn Queen in here. Shout out to Brooklyn Queen. If you guys haven't hit that like button, hit the like button. I want to ask you guys, hopefully you guys are liking the shorter content form. All right. I'm trying to do that so that I can pack more stuff in throughout the day. Everything looked good yesterday as far as people watching. So, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to y'all, man. Keep watching that stuff up. I'm going to try to get a couple more short form videos up if I get time today. If you guys haven't had a chance to check the ones out that I put up, make sure that you guys check them out. All right. Shout out to y'all. We are at 100 members. So that's what's up, man. I appreciate y'all. That means that the channel is growing, which is great. You know what I'm saying? So throw some flames and radiation emoji in your chat. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man Greets. He's talking about the Magatron channel hitting. Facts. I'm glad you guys enjoying that. I got some streams coming up on that channel today. So, you know what I'm saying? If y'all not subscribed to Magatron, make sure that y'all subscribe to that channel. We're going to have some fun over there talking about some interesting things. I got some interesting stuff to talk about today, man. Y'all gonna have some good content today. All right. So the first thing that we're going to talk about, you guys see the title. The mainstream media is attacking reparations and they're trying to control voter trend narratives. All right. How many people have seen a lot of the recent articles that have been coming out about the voter trends? They're talking. We did one yesterday where we talked about Joe Biden on his campaign trail in South Carolina, but there's more. All right. The mainstream media is always constantly attacking reparations. They're always going to attack reparations until we get them. You know what I'm saying? And even then, they're still going to attack it. And they're going to still attack us. So it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? There's only one way to deal with that. Then we have a situation in Michigan where they talk to some black male voters. And what I want to do is I want to read this article to you guys. And I want to ask you guys if you all agree with the article or if you disagree with the article. All right. And then Washington Post came out with an article where they quote unquote address reparations directly. And they say that black Americans aren't enthusiastic about reparations. So what I want you guys to do is, as we read these, let me know what you guys think the purpose of these are, all of the misinformation that you guys identify, and just basically get our counter opinions out there, because you guys know that as the elections move forward, they're going to come through with nonstop propaganda. And you know, the only way to counter propaganda is with counter propaganda. So, you know what I'm saying? That's what we about to do. All right. So this is an article from the New York Post. And as you guys know, the New York Post basically is the exact same thing as Fox News. Reparations are the new affirmative action. All right. So let's get this out the way. Do you guys agree with that? Reparations are the new affirmative action. How so? Make it make sense. Even more racist and more divisive. So apparently reparations are racist. Who knew? What do you guys think about that? Is affirmative action dead? Gallup poll results this month show a significant majority. 68% of Americans agree with the Supreme Court's ruling to abolish affirmative action in Students for Fair Admissions versus Harvard, the racial discrimination case brought by Asian Americans. Not only has aggregate favorability shot up since right after the summer decision when it was 52%, but now a majority of blacks approve of SFFA. Among younger blacks, the favorability is a stunning 62%, almost matching the 63% among Asian Americans. So basically what this shows is how obtuse these people are. Shout out to BB Rodriguez. It shows that these people literally don't pay any attention, not only to their own statistics, but to anything that anybody says outside of their inbred echo chamber. They don't pay attention to anything, which is one of the reasons why they try to not give challenging platforms rebuttals or any attention at all, because they'd be crushed. When I tell you that these people are not the brightest, I really mean that. Most of us were really just sitting here watching Asian people crash out over affirmative action because Asian people have bought into the jar of hypnotic Hillman's mayonnaise and they believe everything that these people say. And we were like, well, you're only going to hurt yourself. We've never really utilized affirmative action all like that. And it's been shown where other groups of people benefit from it more than we do. But hey, hap at it, high IQ people. And now the one group of high IQ people has shot themselves in the foot. Unfortunately, that's where they shot themselves instead of higher up. And then the other group of people is now writing nonsense without interacting. So this is what we got to deal with. Shout out to DeAndre. What's good with it? Yo, I don't know if you guys saw, but shout out to the members. Like I said, we got 100 members. I just added a new emoji. I think you guys would like it. Check out throw that new emoji in the chat. Let me know what y'all think. All right. Hispanic Americans came in even higher. Now, what's interesting about this is that the New York Post does not give any explanation or any proposed explanation for any of these statistics. So I'm going to ask you guys, how do you feel about these statistics? I'm going to read them to you again. And for each one, I want you guys to let me know why you think the statistic is what it is. All right. So it says not only has aggregate favorability shot up since right after the summer decision when it was 52%, but a majority of blacks now approve of SFFA among younger blacks. The favorability is a stunning 62%, almost matching 63% among Asian Americans. Hispanics came in even higher at 68%. Why do you guys think that these delusional people don't think that in some instances black people would think like everyone else? Oh, that's why, because they have genetic issues. And because of those genetic issues, they don't think that black people are even capable of thought. We have to always give them that grace and ourselves that defense when dealing with these particular people. You know what I'm saying? If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. Perhaps after watching in amazement the stark contrast between how campus administrators handled pro-Hamas riots and how they handled non-progressive events for years, Americans of all races have awakened to the fact that much touted campus diversity has been a total sham. Yeah, it has been a total sham because most campuses are predominantly white. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to JW. Most campuses are predominantly white. What do you guys think about that new emoji? You guys like it? If you guys like that new emoji, give me a thumbs up. If you guys don't, give me a thumbs down. Yeah, and I agree, DC Precise. Big facts. Super facts. The court's 2003 Grutter versus Bollinger decision said it was exactly because the robust exchange of ideas diversity brings to universities was a compelling state interest that affirmative action, with its inherent racial preferences, was provisionally spared from being illegal under the 14th Amendment and the 1964 Civil Rights Act, which guarantee equal rights under the law regardless of race, which is interesting. Now, shout out to Torian, but here's my question for you, Torian. Don't you just want to get a magnifying glass and line it right up with the sunlight and put it directly on one of these people and study how they could possibly be so ridiculously low IQ and obtuse? So what people need to understand, anytime you hear propaganda like this is a roundabout direct attack on black people, if that makes sense. A roundabout direct attack. What's going on here is that they're extremely upset that people don't really care about affirmative action because that's something that they thought they were going to create entertainment for themselves with. But that failed. And the only people who are a spectacle as a result of the affirmative action issues are the very people who brought it to court. They're currently suffering right now, as they should be. So now they have to try to create another artificial issue. However, these people will never attempt to have a direct debate or a direct conversation about any of this, which is perfectly fine. I mean, we don't have to. But it's very important, if you ask me, to know how people are talking about you behind your back. Because if this is what these people are going to do, we need to be striking back all the time. And we need to be striking back where and how it hurts. They need to feel it every single time. Okay? So now here it says provisionally because under Grutter, affirmative action was to be practiced under highly limiting guidelines and with specific intent to it, perhaps in 25 years, both of which universities ignored. The SFFA decision found its quote-unquote diversity rationale to permit a little bit of racism for a little while in the name of educational benefits was incoherent. As we saw, it was also bogus, which is interesting, again, because what they're doing is anytime it comes to affirmative action, these people are not able to ever take credit for their own screw-ups, like how they screwed up the world and call it civilization. These people are the ones who actually created DEI. Every continent was an ethno-state before they got involved and threw off the natural balance of the world. And now that they threw the natural balance of the world off, and that doesn't really fare well with their genetics, they're upset and outraged about it. But nobody cares. They're scrambling. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Asian people and white people have pushed false propaganda attempting to run the narrative that Black people created affirmative action as an oppressive mechanism and tool to harm Asian people and white people. Now, these people can't tell you who did this. These people can't tell you whose names are on any of the signatures. They can't tell you any of this stuff. But you got people like Charlie Kirk, people like Matt Walsh, people like Ben Shapiro, who are so outraged that they are incels with privilege that they have to try and scrape the bottom of the barrel to try to find a reason to justify their mediocrity, hypocrisy, and failures, because that's exactly what they are. Expecting them to complete a sentence could be setting the bar a little bit too high. Okay? So now let's ask this question to everybody in the comment section. Who set up affirmative action and DEI rules at Harvard, at Yale, at any college in the United States, junior college, vocational school? Who set these things up? Here's an even better question. Who put affirmative action into place? You guys let me know in the comment section. And real quick, ladies and gentlemen, shout out to everybody that's watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. We got 30 people watching and we got 33 likes. If everybody could take a moment, smash that like button and get us to 50, that would be great. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell and subscribe to the channel, please hit the bell and subscribe to the channel. And also, please share the stream to your social media. And absolutely, PC, them folks, facts. If you guys agree with Denise and John, give me a thumbs up in the chat. Let me ask you guys this question. Why is it that every time there's not diversity, white people always do something to try to diversify themselves using black people and other groups? Do you guys notice that? They pretty much had control over the United States, and then what did they do? Went and got some slaves. They had control over the little colonies that they had created. What did they do? Expanded west until they saw some non-white people. They had an ethno-state on that useless rock that's called Europe that doesn't have any monoliths or any natural resources. What did they do? They went to find other people who weren't white. Literally, these people that wish to be isolationists, their entire existence, they've sought out other groups of people. It's the most bizarre phenomenon in the world. I need you guys to let me know. And now the same group of people is trying to go beyond the planet Earth. Now they're trying to go to Mars and find other groups of possible humanoids or whatever. So it's not enough that they've come in contact with most groups of people on the planet. Now they're trying to come in contact with groups of, I guess, what would be equivalent to people on other groups of planets. To the moon, Mars, satellites all over the place. The very people that do not want DEI, their entire existence, they have sought other people. I hate to say this, but there's certain people on the planet that literally act like 6,000-year-olds. Let's see if you guys get that little joke there. They act like 6,000-year-olds. I think that we should start calling these guys the 6,000ers. You know what I'm saying? What do you guys think? You guys think we should start calling these guys the 6,000ers? If you guys think we should, give them a thumbs up. If you guys don't, give me a thumbs down. They act like a bunch of 6,000-year-olds. Seriously. Grow up. Grow up. So now here it says, editorial DEI machines grow stronger. Critics target homeschooling, parents, and other commentary. All right. So what people need to know is that when it comes to the anti-black media machine, yeah, the 6,000-year-olds, the toddlers with dirty diapers because they refuse to use proper hygiene, but they know everything. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Shout out to the 6 KKKs. Oh man, that's hilarious. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Kiko. What's good with it, bro? Shout out to Crew Reality. What's good with it, bro? A Crew Reality. Always making a mess, leaving a mess too. Making a mess, leaving a mess, and then say that they made some type of art. You know what I'm saying? Very weird. Very weird. So now here it says SSFA did not end affirmative action. Diehards are busy reassembling affirmative action underground. Now, let me ask you guys this question. Who's busy reassembling affirmative action underground? It's only one group of people that we recently saw that was underground. So is that who these people are talking about here? I don't know. But worse, there's an ascendant affirmative action that couldn't care less about quote unquote diversity or educational benefits. This new variant is brazenly racist. Affirmative action is reparations for the so-called legacy of slavery. So slavery didn't exist. It's only so-called. And I'm pretty sure that reparations encompasses more than just slavery, but this is what New York Post is presenting. So New York Post is denying slavery. Now, what would happen to us if we deny some people's historical issues? As Thomas Sowell, an economist who's not a historian, that we'll quote anyway, because we just can't get a historian to quote anything. Jason Riley's and others have shown the legacy is not of slavery, but of 1960s liberalism. Now, what was going on in 1960? Wasn't Jim Crow going on? Are you making any mention of that? So again, when people talk about this kind of stuff and when people make commentaries about this stuff, what you have to understand is that the evidence shows that attempting to coherently communicate with the majority of these people is futile. And you should never lead with attempting to communicate. You should only attempt to lead with forcing your will. And if you're going to lead with forcing your will, it's going to be kind of difficult to do that through their political system. The world is set up to not provide them any type of consequences. You can sit here and say misinformation. Where's the embedded quote to show that this is misinformation? So-called legacy of slavery. What if you said so-called events that led to World War II? I want you guys to let me know what happened if you said that. So now the thing is that what people need to start doing, if you ask me, is directly combating this. Breaking things up. Weakening the concentration. If that makes sense, give me a thumbs up. If it doesn't, then give me a thumbs down. But I do you think that that's something popular? Let me know. Let me ask you guys a question. Thomas Sowell, Jason Riley, why are those people being used as quote unquote reference information? What if I decided to use a cashier to reference information about the theory of relativity? Would anybody take me seriously? So now my question for you guys is, what's the purpose of this? Regardless, there's money and Democratic votes in Ibram Kendi's toxic hucksterism of the only remedy to past discrimination is present discrimination. So my question is, if they don't agree with what Ibram Kendi says, what is their suggestion? Their suggestion doesn't matter because it didn't happen to them. However, since they like to talk so much, and since they pride themselves on being so intelligent, they should easily be able to give a solution that sounds better than whatever it is that Ibram Kendi is selling. The reason why they don't have a solution and the reason why they're simply upset because Ibram Kendi opened up his mouth is because their solution is to maintain status quo, aka maintain a stronghold. Which is all this is about. Okay? So reparations commissions are sprouting in Democratic strongholds around the country, 17 and counting, with Governor Hochul signing one in New York into law just last month, and Democrats are pushing a federal commission. Now, these people are this scared of a study because we all know that everything that these Democrats are signing is nothing but smokescreen. But these people are really triggered by this, very emotional. Now, why is it that anytime reparations are brought into question, why don't these people stand on their own and brag about the bravery of their quote-unquote ancestors. You ever notice that? They stopped talking about that real quick. Shout out to Key Code 410. Bottom line is WS and white people in general are so scared that they may have to compete from fair or equal playing ground. I think that even that is privilege. That's privilege. That's privilege. And the reason why that's privilege is because so many of you guys are just such nice, moral, and ethical people. I don't know why. Maybe some things people just can't shake. But I'll tell you what, competition would be the last thing on their priority list of being scared if it was up to me. There'd be a lot more priorities to be worried about than fair or equal playing ground. And honestly, if it was up to me, the playing ground might not even be fair. But this is how good of people you guys are. You guys actually want there to be fair playing ground. That's commendable. I'm just not as good as you guys, man. If we haven't had fair playing ground for 400 years, I don't understand why anybody else is expected to be allowed to play fair. You know what I'm saying? I can't rationalize it. You know what I mean? But I feel what you're saying, Kiko. And I do agree that those thoughts do, probably cross their mind. Which again, simply those thoughts and not the thoughts of a Israel Hamas like situation that they'd be worried about. That's a privilege. That's a privilege. They should have a lot more to worry about than fairness. Because they've done a lot. They've been busy. They've been busy in their little 6,000 years. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says in the reparations regimen, affirmative action is reincarnated under quote unquote integration to justify racial quotas under the legacy of slavery narrative. So according to New York Post, slavery doesn't exist. Now, which one is it? There's New York Post's version of slavery that didn't exist, and then there's Ron DeSantis of slavery, where slavery was junior college and vocational school. So which one are we going with? Thus, in the California Reparations Report Education chapter, only the Golden States Commission has completed its report. Cognates of integration, segregation, or desegregation occur 199 times against 7 for diversity and 0 for proficiency or excellence. Significantly, reparations also underlie Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson's dissenting SFFA opinion. This was intentional. Jackson was laying the groundwork for a Supreme Court fight on reparations, perhaps in a future court with more justices on her side. So these people actually think that Ketanji Brown Jackson is trying to get some reparations for what? Women? How many people see Ketanji Brown Jackson going on a jihad to get reparations for foundational Black Americans? If you guys can see that, give me a thumbs up. If you guys don't see that, give me a thumbs down. New York Post is putting on as if they're terrified of Ketanji Brown Jackson. The only reason why they should be scared of Ketanji Brown Jackson is because Ketanji Brown Jackson might check the wrong box. If your name is Mike, she'll be confused on which one to check, male or female. That's the only reason why anybody should be scared of Ketanji Brown Jackson. Ketanji Brown Jackson's not on the reparations mission. Ketanji Brown Jackson is on the get rich or die trying mission. And they know that. But they're being dishonest. But she's probably the person of most notoriety that they could put throughout their article that would make people, recognize that because she's in a high position. So they're using her. Okay. So now here it says, after suffering comes justification for reparations, central demand that of forever legacy. But since facts and logic don't support that, she resorts to dreamy storytelling. History speaks. In some form, it can be heard forever. The race-based gaps that first developed centuries ago are echoes from the past that still exist today. So what they believe is that nothing that affected anybody a long time ago affect anybody that's alive today. You guys already know that. People been hearing that forever. You know what I'm saying? She concluded that with a recitation of black ills straight from the reparations narrative, with its usual inaccuracies and fallacies, including the confusion of correlation versus causation, that whatever ills are observed, the legacy of slavery is the cause. And kind of like most white media, the usual narrative of delusion and purposefully misrepresenting what somebody said is probably what's going on here. Jackson's dissent is all reparations, only reparations. In a lawsuit about discrimination against Asian American applicants, she mentions them only once, just to recap a lower court ruling. So you're expected to just mention Asians all the time. But no one's expected to mention us at all. Shout out to Kid Gravity. What's good with it, bro? Jackson blustered similarly elsewhere that despite explicitly guaranteeing universal equal rights in unmistakable language of European enlightenment, which European people clearly are the only ones that ever enlightened anything, the 14th Amendment really meant blacks to be more equal than others, whites, Asians, Hispanics, and Native Americans, which is interesting because Native Americans owned slaves, so they had more rights than blacks. Asian people weren't really here all like that. Hispanics were Spanish, they were white, and they owned slaves as well. And we all know what's up with white people. So again, this is a very, very interesting, probably somebody who's not a lawyer or even a high school graduate, interpretation of the 14th Amendment. You know what I'm saying? Real quick, ladies and gentlemen, shout out to the second stream sponsor, my man Al McCowan. Definitely appreciate it. Make sure y'all throw some radiation emoji in the chat. Al McCowan says, I work at a place where I'm one of 2 American blacks. The rest don't speak the language. And shout out to Kid Gravity for 8 months of membership. Make sure y'all throw some radiation emoji and some flames in the chat for Kid Gravity. Appreciate it, bro. So now check this out. Is the future of America such tribalism and a grift? Well, the tribalism grift is what started America and laid the foundation for white people to have all of the rewards and benefits and privileges that their great ancestors that they pray to, like Robert E. Lee, the Christian Bible, and all that nonsense, provided for them. It was a grift. Dawes Act was a grift. The Homestead Act was a grift. The New World was a grift. Christopher Columbus sailing the ocean blue in 1492 and not talking about why he got kicked out of Spain was a grift. Caesar Borgia as Jesus Christ is a grift. Slavery, the biggest grift that led to the biggest GDP in the world. America was built on a grift. So America will probably fall on a grift. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's not my America for me to care. I just happen to live here. It's just like a job. I don't own the place. I just work there. This ain't my America. I just live here. You know what I mean? Or is America's future our founding ideal of e pluribus unum, out of many one, with its promise of oneness under the law, regardless of differences that made America the beacon of freedom in the world? You decide. A country that was built by slaves based on a race-based caste system that had a constitution that listed black people as as property and white people as landowners is not the beacon of freedom. It's not the beacon of freedom. If you guys believe that the United States is the beacon of freedom, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. How many black Americans do we have in here? If you're black American, and when I say black American, no offense to anybody, I'm talking about actual black American. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got a family member named Red. You know what I'm saying? You got a family member named Ali. You know what I'm saying? You got a couple Junes in your family. I'm talking about shit like that. I ain't talking about that other shit. Not where you can't pronounce motherfuckers' names. I'm talking about that real shit. You got some women in your family named Nisi. That type of shit. You know what I'm saying? According to Washington Post, black Americans aren't enthusiastic about reparations yet. Here's why. So let me ask you guys this question. Facts. Everybody got a Red, Nisi, Junebug, and we say pooed it. You pooed it. You know what I'm saying? You know who you've been around. If some if one of your young family members come back home from school talking about somebody farted. You know what I'm saying? Been around them folks. Shout out to my man We Lit. What's good with it? And Nene, facts. I remember that they had the Nene song. Everybody was sounding all stupid, messing it up. Do the Nene. Like, you're dumb. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man Jet Black. What's good with it? Yeah, my dad was June, MC. My dad was June. And I had a cousin, Junie. You know what I'm saying? And you got a couple women in your family that got like man nicknames. Like my my great grandmother's nickname was Tom. You know what I'm saying? and I got an aunt named Bobby. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, it's a couple women in your family that got a dude nickname. You know what I'm saying? That's hilarious. Jay Bird said, anybody got a cousin Tootie? I might have some cousin Tooties, but I don't know about no. I don't know if I got one though. I never met him. If I do, yeah. Shout out to John. John, you had a woman in your family named Bobby too. Yeah, I got an aunt Bobby. You know what I'm saying? My dad's sister, Aunt Bobby. My favorite aunt, man. She cool people. Oh man, that's hilarious, man. That's hilarious. That's how you know. That's how you know. That's exactly what my aunt's name is. MC Barbara Jean. That's exactly what it is. Bobby Jean. Bobby Jean. Everybody got an Aunt Bobby. You know what I'm saying? Bobby Jean. He coming home so late for. Oh man, that's hilarious, man. That is hilarious. Shout out to Jay Bird. What's good with you, bro? Bobby Jean. Yeah, man. That's real right there. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if that's who they talking about, or if they're talking about other Black Americans. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know if the Washington Post interviewed anybody. How many of you guys were interviewed by the Washington Post? If you guys were interviewed by the Washington Post, give me a thumbs up. If you guys were not, give me a thumbs down. All the old FBA grandma names sound like a place you could get a student loan from. Sally Mae, Fannie Mae, Hattie Mae, Emma Lou. You know what I'm saying? all them old school FBAs, them old school FBA grandmas, they sound like a place you could get a student loan from. Betty May, facts. Ethel May. Shout out to Vlad. What's good with it? Maddie May, yeah, facts. Jesse May, that's real, man. That's real. Everybody got like those that generation, all those names for the most, them people almost are all gone, man. That whole generation of all them people like that with them names, they almost gone. Some of them people, like I want to say, like in the late 90s, there was still some of them people that was alive that was born in the 1800s, man. My great grandmother, Tom, she was born on her headstone, man. I remember when we was at the funeral, she was born like 18 something. I was like, God damn. Yeah. She was like, I think she passed away. I think she was like 102 when my great grandmother passed away, I want to say. My grandma, when she passed away, I want to say she was like maybe like 94. Y'all remember Pearl on 227? Oh yeah, them some Southern names, Jay. Buster, Frog, Duck, Dottie. Frog and Duck for sure is from the South. There's like swamp South. You know what I'm saying? Them cats that be catching crawdads with their bare hands and chewing on a blade of grass the whole time with a straw hat. You know what I'm saying? Sounding like Juvenile. That's hilarious, man. They in the Everglades. You know what I'm saying? With them names, my name Duck. Mine Frog. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, y'all on some other stuff. Yeah, exactly, John. That's exactly what I'm saying. Those Louisiana names. Yeah. Them cats that catch crawdads with their bare hands, just duck on the side of the boat and come back up with a whole handful of crawdads. We even put them in the gumbo. For real? We even put them in the gumbo. Wilding down there, man. That's Black Americans though. Like that, those are Black Americans. You know what I'm saying? You could do a whole history lesson just like about people's names, tracing their families. You know what I'm saying? Places where they was from and stuff like that. They don't even appreciate that element, you know what I'm saying, of uniqueness that we have in the mainstream media. The mainstream media just lumps everybody together and says Black Americans. Now, the New York Post says that Black Americans aren't enthusiastic about reparations yet. Here's why. I disagree. I believe that this is honestly the most enthusiastic that I've ever actually seen people. This is the most push that I've seen. You know what I'm saying? This is the most that reparations has been talked about. This is the hardest that people have been going about reparations. And shout out to everybody that does go hard about it, because nobody in the government is doing it. It's all like grassroots people, independent people on the ground. No one is the government. The Black people in the government, they completely compromised. They're sellouts. They've lost all of their legitimacy. No one takes them serious. They're a laughing stock. So all of this noise is coming all from people that don't have a machine of the media or the government backing them up or helping them. Yeah, they are under the Fox News umbrella. Facts. They owned by Rupert Murdoch, or it was owned by Rupert Murdoch at one time. Big facts. Big facts, Vlad. Real quick, shout out to everybody that's watching. I appreciate you guys. If you guys haven't smashed that like button, take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, make sure that you guys take a moment and hit that bell. And please share the stream to your social media. All right. Let me see what we looking like as far as the like enforcement goes. We got 58 people watching and we got 62 likes. So if everybody can bang on that like button and get us to 80, that would be great. I bet you if y'all put that like enforcer, every time DeAndre put this in the chat, put that like enforcer emoji in there. That like enforcer emoji pretty scary. I bet you that'll scare some people into hitting the like button. What y'all think? Y'all think it'll work? Like a scarecrow. We'll call it a like crow. Shout out to Val. What's good with it, Val? So here it says, in the fight for reparations, organizers are crisscrossing California to persuade people like Aziza Kamara Amini to join their cause. After a recent Sunday service at San Francisco's Glide Memorial Church, Kamara Amini, who is 43, joined about 50 other churchgoers in the basement to hear a pitch for the state's multi-billion-dollar reparations proposal for Black Californians. She has long believed that reparations are needed to repair the Black community after centuries of government discrimination, but entered the meeting skeptical of its chances. After listening for about 30 minutes to two members of the Secretary of State's office outline the plan proposed last year, which includes $1 million for some older Black residents, the corporate diversity consultant's hand shot up. We've been talking about this for years, and people have been fighting for this for years, Kamara Amini, who is Black, said. And still all we are doing is talking and talking, and I don't see any real progress being made. What's the real solution? She said to applause from the racially diverse group. Reparations advocates are facing an unexpected hurdle. Deep skepticism from the very people their proposals are designed to help, Black residents. That's not true. So this article right here is a propaganda piece to try to get people to doubt the progress that people have been making as far as with the push for reparations and getting it to be an issue. Oh, yeah. Hey, I got a stream coming up on that, Patrick. I got a stream coming up on that. Wait till you see the thumbnail. I got 2 streams on Tim Scott. I'm gonna try to get them all done today. Y'all gonna get like 7 streams today and maybe a video or 2. But yeah, Tim Scott definitely getting a video today. Now, my question is, Tim Scott's going to be Trump's Black outreach. He's going to reach out and do what exactly? What is Tim Scott going to reach out and do? The only thing that Tim Scott needs to reach out and do is push that overbite back a little bit. That's the only thing that I can see from here that Tim Scott needs to prioritize and do. Would you guys agree? If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. Now, where are they going to see this quote unquote deep skepticism? Let me ask you guys this question. This is going to sound crazy. And if you're religious, it might not feel too good to hear. But y'all know that I rock with y'all. I just don't believe it like y'all, but I rock with y'all though, right? If people believe in Jesus, why would you not believe in reparations? Reparations is something that you yourself have the ability to put in the drive for, the tenacity, work and fight to the death to get. And Jesus is questionable in many reasons. Some people believe that that's not his name. Other people believe that he doesn't or didn't exist. There's no speculation about our history. There's no speculation about the atrocities that we've endured and continue to endure here in the United States. There's no speculation about the fact that those atrocities that harmed us benefited and laid the foundation for the wealth of all other groups of people, including Black immigrants that come to the United States. There's no speculation involving anything where the roads lead to reparations. So what this is, if you ask me, and you guys can tell me if you guys agree or if you guys disagree, this is a propaganda piece from the mainstream media that's created to attempt to sow doubts into people's heads, to try to make them not support reparations as strongly, because it's trying to give the image that there's just so many Black people that are doubting it. I mean, these Black people doubt it so much that they just don't even support it. That's not true at all. Yeah, I agree that the church needs to stay out, JW. We don't disagree on that. I don't believe in the church. You know what I'm saying? Everybody here knows that, you know what I'm saying, about me, but you know what I'm saying, that's not my bag, the religion and all that. You know what I'm saying? I think that the religion that has been forced, and now it seems like people just adopt it, but actually it's been forced. It contributes to a lot of the mental hurdles that people have to go through. The church has brainwashed people into believing in a non-existent system of morality that is not there. Literally, no one has morality or ethics towards us, but yet and still, these religions and nonsense has treated people to think that somehow we owe other people grace, which we don't owe anybody any damn thing other than fire and brimstone. Except for they didn't talk about that part in the Bible in a good way. But that's the only thing that we owe anybody. You know what I'm saying? We don't owe anybody any niceness. We don't owe anybody any oxygen. We don't owe anybody anything except for reciprocity. So now when I say that we owe people reciprocity, every other group of people that has ever encountered us need to sit back and think how they've been toward us. Ask yourself a long, honest question. How have you been towards us? Because we need to start paying out in units of reciprocity. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Sybil. Shout out to Lloyd Scott 9. What's good with it? Yeah, one of those is that I got one of those memes. I'm finna use one of them bad boys for the thumbnail. Then I got another thumbnail. Yeah, but I'm definitely using that Fat Albert one. Shout out to whoever made that. Because I mean, it's just, you know, Tim Scott is just a bad look, man. Tim Scott is a bad look. If Trump hires Tim Scott for Black outreach, any Black person that supports Trump needs to look at Trump sideways. Because Tim Scott's not going to reach out to Black people. Tim Scott is going to glue his mouth to white ass like a suction cup. Have you ever seen a plunger and then you plunge the plunger down to the ground real hard and then you try to pull it back up and it's like suction cup to the ground? Tim Scott is gonna face plunger on some white cheeks the same way that a plunger plunges down to the floor. And that's not getting Trump any black support. If Trump wants black support, he needs to get somebody that can get him some black support. What black people is Tim Scott going to bring over there? Other black conservatives don't even like him all like that. But hiring Tim Scott as a black outreach is a reflection on Donald Trump, because Tim Scott didn't hire himself. So for audits, because I know that I know I got some people that rock with me that support Trump, and that's fine. But that's something that you need to honestly take into consideration. Who is what if the actual objective is for Trump to get more black votes? Where is Tim Scott going to draw these black votes from to get to Trump? Because Tim Scott don't have a rapport with black people. None of these black conservatives have a rapport with black people. They've been trashing black people for white people's entertainment the entire time. No black conservative will be of any use to any white politician that wants actual black outreach. So then you got to ask the actual question: do you really want black outreach if you're hiring Tim Scott, or do you want something else? Shout out to my man Torian. Torian said he about to go in on Tim Scott in the PPP midday stream. That's what's good. Tim Scott about to get roasted up twice. He about to get roasted up real good twice. Actually, it's about to be 4 times if you count the thumbnails. Now, shout out to Torian. Torian says they want the Thomas Sowell crowd, right? But here goes my question. I could understand them wanting Thomas Sowell crowd for marketing purposes, but if they actually want numbers, that's a very small minority, that Thomas Sowell crowd, I think, if you ask me. So, like Neely Fuller Jr. said, if they want the Thomas Sowell crowd, then they just want some self-entertainment so that they could have, like Neely Fuller Jr. said, an ego trip. You know what I'm saying? Now, see, shout out to Patrick, right? Because Patrick says, so Trump skips over Byron Donalds, who I don't think has said anything about blacks like these other mofos. Even Ben Carson. Trump must not want any black support. Now, here's the thing, right? You know how I read your comment, Patrick, about how you feel you have some doubts that there may be issues with people not voting Democrat, right? I don't disagree. I think that the numbers of support for Democrats are still way too high, especially given the history, right? But one thing that I do pay attention to, and I think might happen, is that people are playing political trampoline. So they're going to jump from the Democrats to Republicans. Like, no offense to the woman from Chicago, Cata Truss, right? She's gone on multiple platforms now and said that she's voting Republican. If you're voting for Republicans without a commitment for them to do anything for you, you're making the same mistake and providing the same comfort and grace and setting yourself up for abuse like what people went through with the Democrats. Me personally, I don't believe that people should jump from the Democrats to the Republicans. Leave the Democrats and only deal with the Republicans if you have something written in blood for you. That's it. You know what I mean? Shout out to Patrick. Patrick says, I'm not a Trump supporter or a Republican, but I'd vote just to stick it to the Dems. I understand that logic. That's not what I would do, but I understand that logic. You know what I'm saying? I would vote for the Republicans if I had a blood contract. But Republicans think that they can get free black support because of years of Democrat abuse. These people need to know that they're not getting anything. Listen, man, screw the Republicans. Do you know that these reprobate, inbred degenerates have been running propaganda, talking crap about black people forever, literally saying that all we do is get free stuff, and these effing clowns want to get our votes for free because the Democrats ain't working out? F them too. You know what I mean? You don't get a pass on that, man. I don't forget. Exactly, Tori. In fact, all you got to do is just take a tour on Twitter. Just take a tour on Twitter and see what these people post all day. Man, they can go to hell after taking a swim in gasoline. For real. That's why I said there's got to be a blood contract, and I got to be the one to carve it. Like, nah. To sit there and say that the Democrats have done damage is true, but we can't sit there and say that the Republicans have not done damage. Fox News in itself has done tons of damage. You know what I'm saying? You don't get to get that all for free, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, nah. You know what I mean? Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. All these, New York Times and all this New York Post. Oh, black people, you know what I mean? They're just coming to the Republicans in droves. Nah. Black people are leaving the Democrats in droves, but nobody's running to the Republicans for anything except for a confrontation. I'll go over there for a standoff because see, when it comes to the Republicans, that's a situation where we got to fight in order to get this together. Like, I got to knock you around a couple times. You know what I'm saying? You got to be down on the ground a couple times. You know how sometimes you just cannot solve a problem without a physical altercation, and then after y'all get that physical altercation out the way, you're okay? Yeah, that's the type of situation. That's how it should be with all of us with the Republicans. If anybody is jumping from the Democrats to the Republicans, it should be from the top rope with a flying elbow. That's the only way you should be jumping from the Democrats to the Republicans. And I gotta agree, Patrick. If you guys agree with Patrick, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. Patrick said, damn, we in a bad situation. We literally have no political representation. Facts. And none in the foreseeable future. You know what I'm saying? I did not mean to hit that. But if y'all want to hit that, I won't be mad at you. You know what I'm saying? That's what I meant to hit. Shout out to my man, Lloyd Scott 9. Make sure you guys throw some radiation emoji in the chat and some flames for Lloyd Scott 9 with the $5 super chat. Definitely appreciate you, bro. Lloyd Scott 9 says the Republicans don't like Negroes, just like Dems. Maybe you need to emphasize extra political means a bit more. Yeah, facts. Facts, bro. I've been the news has been so wild and crazy. I think it's because of election season coming up, and then you got the border stuff really coming to a head. I haven't had a chance to do like any of them type of streams. Tools of Industrial Strength, All Money Ain't Good Money. None of the Black Light Revelations originals, bro. Them bad boys got shelved this season, but they'll be back. shout out to Deneen. Yeah, them Black Light Revelations originals, man, bro. Them bad boys got shelved, but they'll be back though. They'll be back. I ain't even got a chance to do the first episode of Box Bros, and I got it sitting there lined up. But yeah, we definitely do need to talk about extra political means more. You're right. Absolutely. Which ties into what Patrick was saying about the lack of political representation. Yeah, you should, Tori, and do that. Do that for sure. And real quick, also shout out to everybody. Make sure y'all smash that like button. Make sure y'all hit the bell. If y'all haven't shared the stream, share the stream. Also, if you guys aren't subscribed to my backup channels, take a moment and subscribe to my backup channels. All right. So now here it says the movement was already grappling with how to gain support of Asian and Latino residents, which I don't whose reparations movement was grappling on how to gain the support of Asians and Latino movement. See, this is what I'm saying. These people just put out flat out blatant misinformation. Who's looking for Asian and Latino coalition as far as when it comes to reparations or anything for that matter? Who make up the majority of the state's population and whose polls have shown largely oppose reparations, as do the majority of white residents. And the state's $37.9 billion budget deficit was expected to pose another political hurdle. Now, if we actually have political representation, one thing that we could have our politicians actually do is start removing safe injection sites, start working on legislation to make methadone and Suboxone illegal, start attacking things that actually help them. But our politicians are clowns, and our politicians actually advocate for safe injection sites in everything to help them and tell us to shut up about reparations, like Jim Clyburn. How many of y'all remember when I used to do the live streams about the opiate crisis and all the money that was being spent on that? And I kept telling people, if we actually had politicians that was for real, every time Ron DeSantis attacked Black history, we'd take a safe injection site off the street. Get those safe injection sites off the street. Close them down. Put particle board on the front of the door. Turn those methadone clinics into corner stores. Turn those methadone clinics into CVS or Walgreens. Make it where you got to charge a 30% tax to sell Narcan inside the city limits. Oh, they just made a measure in Florida about we're not allowed to teach Black history in school. Bet. We just made sale of Narcan illegal in the city that we run. Bet. And we're petitioning to our neighbors. But see, like that, there's a lot of people that be like, oh, I don't want to hurt anybody. I'm going to tell you guys something. If you're one of those people that says that you don't want to hurt yourself or hurt anybody, or you're not willing to, that is an invitation for you yourself to be harmed. And that's what always happens. That's what always happens. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says, but the cynicism among Black voters is proving just as challenging, advocates say. Now, let me ask you guys a question. How many people in here are cynical about reparations? If you're cynical about reparations, give me a thumbs up. If you're not cynical about reparations, give me a thumbs down. The people that are cynical about reparations is like Officer Tatum, who's not part of this voting demographic that they're even talking about. Who's cynical about reparations? Even better yet, if somebody is cynical about reparations, who ran to the New York Post and gave them a tell-all? Nobody did. Shout out to y'all killing it out there. You know what I'm saying? Nobody did. Nobody did that. This is nonsense. This is what I've been saying to y'all. This is nonsense. All of these articles, this is political disinformation that's coming out because it's an election season. And they're going to try to continue to keep running this. And all this is what's called a quote unquote shut up piece. They want you to just shut up. Which anytime they put this kind of stuff out means that we need to be even more laser focused and louder. That's what that means. more laser focused and louder anytime they think they are going to be like, oh, well, just don't talk about this. No, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it even more is what we're going to do. And you're not going to do anything about it except for stay outraged because that's what you're best at. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says it comes as some advocates prepare to make a critical push in the state legislature this month to implement key parts of their proposals, including establishing the California American Freedmen Affairs Agency to oversee reparations programs. In the months ahead, advocates are also planning public education campaigns, community listening sessions, and rallies at the Capitol, hoping to get more Black Californians, enthusiastic enough to push state lawmakers to start debating reparations. There's already a debate about reparations. Isn't there already a debate about reparations? Isn't Gavin Newsom involved and other state representatives? I got to agree. And they don't like it, Deneen. Every single group of people used to think that they had a leg up on us because of nonsense. Now people are not taking nonsense. We're in the majority of us are no nonsense, right down the middle. They don't like that. Because what that indicates is a severe loss of control. You know what I'm saying? That indicates a severe loss of control. So now here it says, but lawmakers preparing to introduce a slew of reparations bills acknowledge that they face an uphill battle. Let me see. Hold on. I'm approaching this session with great caution and understanding that we're a long way away from achieving our goals, said State Senator Stephen Bradford, who is Black and has introduced the bill to create the reparations agency. But everyone is looking to make sure that we get this right in order to be an example for not only the other 49 states, but for the nation as a whole. Now, you know what's interesting? In that New York Post article, the New York Post didn't mention Martin Luther King mentioning reparations. But any other time they mentioned Martin Luther King. Any other time they mentioned Martin Luther King. I appreciate you, Al. So now it says advocates say that in order to turn reparations from an academic debate into a political reality, they must first close what they call the quote unquote hope gap, the chasm among Black voters who support reparations but believe that they are politically unfeasible. The hope gap does not exist. That does not exist. This hope gap is a phantom that's been contrived by the WS media in order to cast doubt amongst Black people and create self-defeatism. None of this is true. And I gotta agree, Patrick. The Democrats are gonna definitely attach to the reparations talk and try to get it to and try to weaponize it to get Black people to vote for them. That's a fact. If you guys agree with Patrick, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. And again, I didn't mean to hit that. You guys ain't gonna believe me if I do it one more time, but I swear I seriously didn't. But like I said, if y'all want to hit that, I'm not gonna tell you not to. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says, according to a Washington Post Ipsos poll conducted last spring, 75% of Black Americans said the government should compensate descendants of enslaved people, yet only 14% believed it would happen in their lifetimes. If Black residents who made up 6.5% of California residents don't believe in reparations enough to apply political pressure on state leaders, the movement could stall, advocates worry. First and foremost, nobody's not applying pressure on state leaders. Pressure is being applied at all times. And just because 14% may not believe that it's happening in their lifetime, that doesn't mean that they don't believe that it's not going to happen. So I want you guys to pay very close attention to how they're trying to manipulate this to take control of the narrative. If black folks don't believe that reparations are possible, then no other community, either other people of color or white people, will really get on board with this, said Trevor Smith, who leads Reparations Narrative Lab and Advocacy Group. Well, first of all, we don't need other people to get on with it. We need other people to give us money. Give us the damn money. Cut the check. The money they took is what they need to give. Let me ask you guys a question. In Oregon, when they kicked out all the black people, whatever happened to the black businesses there? What happened to the black businesses in Oregon when they kicked out all the black people? Anybody know? Anybody remember? What happened? Did something happen? Did anything occur? Did they fix that? What about when Tulsa got burned down, or Wilmington, North Carolina? Did they fix? And now, mind you, these are all post-slavery. Did they fix any of that? So yeah, saying give us money is not out of pocket at all. Shout out to Torian, because Torian got the whole Black Massacre series. After any one of those Black massacres, was there ever punitive damages and recompensation provided to the victims? Let me know in the comment section. The promise of reparations could also help build enthusiasm among black voters nationally, a key demographic for Democrats looking to hold on to the White House and make gains in Congress, advocates say. If we get reparations, it don't have anything to do with the Democrats. That has to do with us. The Democrats haven't done anything but attempted to dilute, divert, and stall reparations. They haven't done anything to help us get reparations or to help us even come close to reparations. All they've done at every opportunity that they've had is stand in our way. That's it. The Democrats, nobody would vote for the Democrats if we got reparations, or if the reparations legislation was getting put through, because it's grassroots people that has made everything happen with reparations. Any Democrat involved with reparations, all they're doing is showing up to work. That's it. They just showing up to work. Grassroots made reparations happen. Why would anybody vote Democrat when you got Jim Clyburn sounding crazy talking about don't ask me that again? Who's going to vote for that? That's supposed to be their head man. Jim Clyburn supposed to be their head man. He's the head Negro in charge. The HNIC. I keep it thorough. You know what I'm saying? These are people who support this and would be more politically engaged if this were part of our political discourse, said Representative Jamal Bowman. Look, man, y'all need to throw some flames in the chat for my man Patrick. He called it. I did a video on N Cobra a long time ago. Back in the day when only DJ Elmo, U-Law, TD, and Faith and Lighten used to watch my videos. And my man DJ Elmo. Shout out to DJ Elmo, man. I ain't seen DJ Elmo in a long time. I hope he all right. DJ Elmo, if you out there, bruh, let us know if you straight. You know what I'm saying? Representative Jamal Bowman. Now, if he wants reparations so bad, why isn't he doing anything to get us reparations? Let me ask y'all this. As long as Jamal Bowman has been a politician, has he had opportunity to do something impactful involving reparations? He's had plenty of opportunity, hasn't he? What has he done? So all he's doing is looking to use people. These are people who support this and would be more politically engaged if this were part of our political discourse. Now, again, another thing I'm gonna need y'all to do is throw some radiation emoji in the chat for my man Lloyd Sky 9 for bringing up the extra political means. This is one reason why extra political means are important, because if we got extra political means, we don't even have to listen to no clown like Jamal Bowman, because we're going to be using our tools of industrial strength and the money to be making our political moves and taking that power away from the politician. Not a politician, you're just going to do what we tell you to do. You just on the payroll. We're going to fund your campaign, and you better do this or else we're going to mess you up. We're going to get our legal team. We're going to get our lawyers. We're going to pull the tapes of the hotels that we let you kick it in. You done. We're going to talk about that nose candy and rainbow party that you had. That's what them folks do. Own all the hotels, pull the security tapes, shoot it to some lawyer that they're related to, and magically a scandal appears. So, it sounds bad, but it works good. So it don't matter how it sounds. If it works good, do it. Yeah, I gotta agree, Deneen. Deneen says they told him go out there and make the Negroes think we care about reparations. We got Jim Clyburn on tape. That's all. And remember, they're the ones that keep saying that Jim Clyburn is the head Negro in charge. You know what I'm saying? He's the plantation field master. So since they have said that and we heard what he said, there's nothing else after that. It's nothing else to be discussed. The head guy ain't with it, so we ain't with it. If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. So I'm going to read this part again. There are people who support this and would be more politically engaged if this were a part of our political discourse. They want it to be a part of our political discourse, but now notice how Representative Jamal Bowman isn't talking about ways of how they could deliver this. Not only do this need to be part of your political discourse, but if you actually want to be taken serious, then you need to talk about delivery mechanisms. What kind of mechanism of delivery is Jamal Bowman talking about this? All he wants to do, as you can tell from what he said, is attach himself like a tick to talking points. So now they claim Jamal Bowman has been lobbying the Biden administration to embrace reparations in time for the presidential election. Clearly motive-based. Clearly motive-based. You've been ignoring these people the entire year. Now you're losing support. You better hurry up and embrace reparations. Nah. I would encourage everybody here to embrace villainy. You know what I'm saying? But it isn't. So they're staying home, or some are even moving to the Republican Party because it feels like Democrats are taking black voters for granted. It doesn't feel like anything. The data shows that the Democrats have been taking black voters for granted. And you're right. You're right. Like this is it. Like the Democrats are done. And they're scared. Oh, you better talk about reparations or else it's over. It's already over. You're done. Biden said during the 2020 election that he supported a study on reparations for black Americans. Not good enough. As soon as Biden said that he supported a study, man, he should have got booed off the stage. Boo! Shout out to my man DeAndre for enforcing the likes. Show DeAndre some love. Throw them like enforcer emojis in the chat. Them like enforcers about to come out. I need a couple more members. I think it said 15 because I think like there's like an interval, like every like 15 or 20 members that you get, they let you put in new emoji. I can put some on the Blacklight Revelations too. I just haven't had a chance to. I'm gonna try to do it after I get done with the stream. But I got another one called Bot Enforcer. What y'all think about that? What y'all think about that? Yeah, see Val threw the like enforcer in the chat. Hey man, that like enforcer, he's pretty convincing, man. If he walked up on you, I bet you wouldn't. I bet you wouldn't doubt it. I bet you hit that like button. How many? If the like enforcer walked up behind you and tapped on your shoulder, and you turned around and seen him, would y'all hit that like button? What would y'all do if he tapped on your shoulder and you turned around and he was right there, looking like Crossbones from the Captain America comic book? Oh man, that's hilarious. So now check this out. It says the president has supported Congress' efforts to study reparations and the continued impacts of slavery. And that's just it. We're just going to study so we can see how we can keep hitting the weak spots. They're not even studying for any ways of trying to help anybody. They study in the ways to see how they can exploit the weaknesses. I hope everybody understands that. You guys do realize that, right? The reason why they studying is to be able to exploit weaknesses, not so they can help. You know what I'm saying? The president has supported Congress's efforts to study reparations and the continued impact of slavery, said Robin Patterson, assistant press secretary at the White House. So then they go in and talk about, they talk more about California reparations, which we've gone over multiple times. Then they talk about New York, which we've gone over multiple times. Okay. So we know all of this stuff, right? I just wanted you guys to see what they were talking about here. And what they're saying is that, oh, well, you know, if reparations doesn't pass, it's because of you black people. Like, it's ridiculous, man. The propaganda is ridiculous. It's one of the reasons why we got to build up some strong propaganda where we got a wide reach where we could just start smearing them. Then I guarantee you it'll stop. Now, this is some real wild nonsense right here. This right here might take the cake of the crazy nonsense for the day. Shout out to everybody that's watching real quick before we get started with this. If you guys haven't smashed that like button yet, please take a moment and smash the like button. We got 73 live viewers and we got 99, so we almost at our 100 right now. Hit that like button, everybody. Also share the stream. Shout out to Al McCowan. Yeah, the population at large been SBE and black people ever since they came in contact with us. Black male voters in Michigan are frustrated by President Biden and cite millions sent to Ukraine as a slap in the face. Now, this is interesting. Who are these black male voters that they talk to in Michigan? Black male voters in Michigan are increasingly frustrated with President Biden and the Democratic Party, citing the millions of dollars the administration has sent to Ukraine, calling it a slap in the face. Now look at these lies right here. Look at these lies right here. So how many? We gotta take a survey. We need all this information. To the black males in here, how many of you are outraged that because Biden sent all that money to Ukraine, student debt can't be passed? If that is your pivotal focus that you're upset about, give me a thumbs up. If this is a complete nonsensical lie, nobody's pressed about this, then give me an angry face in the chat. No one cares. No one feels like it's a slap in the face for that particular reason. Black male voters in Michigan are increasingly frustrated with President Biden and the Democratic Party, citing the millions of dollars the administration has sent to Ukraine, calling it a quote-unquote slap in the face. So we're outraged about Ukraine. If you now here's the reason. Wait for it. Shout out to Solo T. What's good with it, bro? Wait for it. You guys ready? If you can send $800 million to Ukraine, then you can't tell me you can't facilitate that student loan situation whatsoever. Damar Bayes, who lives in Pontiac, Michigan, told the Washington Post. Student loans, homelessness, some of that could have been eradicated, but that money was sent overseas. So this dude didn't mention anything specifically for black people, didn't mention anything specific for black males. He's talking about general stuff. I mean, you could have eradicated homelessness. Could have made some green energy. No, didn't nobody sit up there and say that. Nobody said that. The reason why people are upset with Joe Biden is because Joe Biden himself, he said this, "At the black community don't always have my back, and I'll always have yours." And instead of giving us his back, you know what I'm saying? Instead of him having our back, he gave us his backside and said, "Kiss it." This is what he said. This is Joe Biden. Joe Biden out here working like this. Oh, I ain't even got my damn thing queued up, but y'all know what I was about to put on there. You ain't black. So now if Joe Biden just you ain't blacks everybody, well then he doesn't have to do anything because nobody's black. Quick fix. Shout out to Carlton. What's good, bro? Quick fix. All you got to do is just you ain't black everybody, and then well none of you are black, so I don't owe you anything. Which that's the strategy that he's been doing. Roland Martin is now out here calling people crazy names, dude. Shout out to Solo. Roland Martin is now out here calling anybody that doesn't rock with everything that he says, quote unquote, alt black. We're alt black. How many people ever seen a beetle fall out of the sky? You know those orange beetles that fall out of the sky and land on their shell? And they can't never turn over. They'll stay turned over on their shell so long that they just sit there and die. Y'all ever seen those before? Them orange beetles, I think they call them potato bugs or something like that. That's how Roland Martin's awkward self be looking, trying to get through a conversation, trying to get through a sentence. Sitting there look like a potato bug fell out of the sky and landed upside down. He can't find his way back onto his back. I out black out there. You know, man. People in FBA and B1. Like, where do they get these people at, man? You know, they always get some old awkward body, funny head shape, high voice, no testosterone having people to always be the circus clowns. This old poop emoji built motherfucker sitting up there like, why are you calling people alt black, sir? Like, I don't understand why homeboy just can't do his content. Like, do your content, bro. Like, do your content. The only thing that Roland Martin is good for is for me to look at my YouTube channel and say, man, that's crazy. He got 1 million subscribers and I got more people in my live stream than him. Damn, that could be me. He's a great reminder of that. Aside from that, not really much use. Not really much use. You know what I'm saying? So it says black male voters in Michigan are increasingly frustrated with President Biden and the Democratic Party, citing the millions of dollars that the administration has sent to Ukraine and calling it a slap in the face. If you can send $800 million to Ukraine, you can't tell me that you can't facilitate that student loan situation whatsoever. Damar Bayes, who lives in Pontiac, Michigan, told the Washington Post. Student loans, homelessness, some of that could have been eradicated. But then we sent that money overseas. They didn't even mention the racial wealth gap. It's a slap in the face from this administration when you watch billions go to other countries and there's no resource for people right here. Carrie Tober, another Pontiac resident, agreed. Which people right here? Because there's plenty of resources for people right here. You talking about in Michigan? Listen, man, the migrants in Michigan got it going on. How many people knew that that the migrant crisis has hit Detroit, Michigan? I just haven't had a chance to talk about Detroit yet. But oh yeah. That migrant crisis has hit Michigan. Real quick, ladies and gentlemen, shout out to Patrick Taylor with the $4.99 super chat. Please make sure you guys show him some love and throw some radiation emoji in the chat for him. He says only 9% of FBA even have loan debt. 13% if you add black immigrants in. Whites hold the most debt at 70%. Is a wealth transfer to them, wiping it out. Right. And honestly, that would be a huge wealth transfer to them, because look what it would do for 70% of those loan holders. It would far impact them more than it would impact us mathematically, quantitatively, right? And that's why they're trying to push it so hard. Now that article that we read earlier, how it said that reparations is the new affirmative action. Nah, man, Biden's student loan proposal is the new affirmative action, because that's some stuff that they're trying to use black people to be the face of. And then when you look deep into it, it's about to create a wealth transfer for 70% of white loan holders. And if we know how affirmative action really worked, affirmative action ain't helping black people all like that. Affirmative action helped white women the most. So student debt helping white people the most, that's technically the new affirmative action. And they're trying to get black faces to substantiate this nonsense. Nobody's outraged about this. How many people in the comment section are outraged that there's been no advancement on student loan debt relief measures? How many people are outraged about that? How many people are not going to be able to complete their day in a good mood because of student loan debt repayment? I don't think it's going to stop anybody from doing anything that anybody's got to do. Some told the Washington Post that they're considering not voting at all in 2024. Yeah, there's a lot of people that are voting couch 2020. If you don't plan on voting, if you're couch 2020, hashtag couch, or if you're couch 2024, hashtag couch 2024, or put the couch in the chat. I think they got a couch emoji with Rick James on it. Dave Chappelle stomping the couch. Joe Biden gonna say F our couch, and then he probably gonna mess around and say the N-word too. Then somebody gonna knock a wrinkle off his face. Yeah, y'all not outraged. Yeah. Tricky Nick gonna be like, Joe Biden gonna be like, F your couch, N-word, and then he gonna get the wrinkle slapped off his face, and he gonna be like, why you slap me? Because you ain't black. You shouldn't have been offended that I said the N-word. Like, you're dumb. You're an idiot. Your thought process and the dumb judgment that you have really literally shows us why the country is where it's at right now. Joe Biden missteps all the time. He missteps politically, and he missteps when he misses stairs going up the flight of stairs to get onto Air Force One. This dude misstepped 3 times in a row and landed on the floor. Like, that's crazy. The hell is wrong with dude? Who voted for this dude, man? Solo said he's a baby boom failure. Facts. Killian Bay, who is 59. Now, Killian Bay, this is no offense. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know I'm not the, you know what I'm saying, xenophobic dude. But this Killian Bay, like this last name with this dash with Bay, that's like an African name. Told the media outlet that the Democrats needed to give him substance. What kind of substance? Uncontrolled substance? You want illicit substance? What the hell kind of substance you want? He actually said that. He said he wanted some substance. Some told the Washington Post they're considering not voting at all in 2024. Killian Bay, who is 59, told the media outlet that the Democrats need to give him some substance. This is what kind of substance? It's a weird request, isn't it? You can't dangle carrots and assume we'll vote for you just because we don't like the other platform, he said. So again, all they're doing is attempting to adopt talking points, as you guys can see. But then they're going the extra mile to say, because we don't like the other platform. You can't even use that narrative anymore. There's some people that like the conservatives. There's some people that rock with conservatives. They just don't rock with the racism of the people in the party, but they rock with the policy. They will vote conservative. Democrats do not have exclusive ownership over black people, black votes, and black politics anymore. Those days are gone. And I'm glad that a lot of black people are either staying on the couch or going conservative. It's a now when people talked about in 2020 either Trump or Biden is a necessary evil, no. None of that nonsense is necessary. Political evolution is the necessary evil. So now if you're not a coon and you're a conservative, or if you're couch 2020 or couch 2024, why am I stuck in 2020? You okay with me? You're okay with me? You know what I'm saying? Facts. If you guys agree with Tilo, give me a thumbs up. The Dems hoping to slick talk their way to the presidency. Facts. And that's all they're trying to do is deliver lip service. That's all they're trying to do is deliver lip service. I was about to say, see, my Scorpio was about to come out, and I was about to say a really raunchy, inappropriate joke, but I'm not going to say it. So, shout out to me for being mature. You know what I'm saying? See, can you guys tell? I'm trying to improve on my professionalism. You guys see that? I'm trying to improve my professionalism. I'm trying. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, shout out to me. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says Norman Clement, the founder of the Detroit Change Initiative, told the Post that he had no hope for the Democratic Party to truly speak to their needs. All of a sudden, at the last minute in August or September, it's quote unquote, black men, can you help save us again? Clement said, black men are not running to the Republican Party. What they're doing is sitting at home, doing their own thing, creating their own ecosystems and initiatives. At this point, I have no hope for Democrats to speak to our needs. Another voter praised former President Trump for being straightforward. It's a lot of black people that rock with Trump. Now, is that the best thing to do? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I'll tell you one thing, the Democrat media lies about it. The Democrat media lies about it. And honestly, the right-wing media lies about it. The right-wing media has just now started acknowledging that people who aren't blatant, open, unapologetic coons, some of them are rocking with Trump. Some of them are conservative. That was never acknowledged before. Like, I think it was Deneen. Wait, no, it was Carla, I think. Was it Carla? Let me see. Hold on real quick. Let me see. Oh, no, it was Val. I'm sorry. It was Val. Val said they will not let black people be moderates. Yeah. The mainstream media has made a very heavily funded and concentrated effort to drown out the fact that most black people are not far left liberals. Most black people are probably more on the moderate conservative side if we're using the white spectrum of politics, because that's what that is a white spectrum of politics. You know what I'm saying? It helps to facilitate lies and create confusion. You know what I'm saying? Let me ask you guys a question. Who is a black moderate that's ever been given any airtime on television to talk about any politics? Somebody that's not just crazy, you know what I'm saying? A crazy leftist, or somebody that's an unapologetic coon. Who's somebody that's been right down the middle who we could relate to that's talked about politics in a moderate way? Can you guys name anybody that would fit that description? That right there, that particular prototype of individual, if you ask me, being that that's the type of individual that the WS media has been leaving out, that's the kind of individual that we need to create. Because anything that they leave out, they're leaving it out because if they put it in there, it would be harmful for whatever narrative that they're trying to run. So whatever they leave out, we got to make sure that we use that as the spearhead of whatever type of message or propaganda we run on them. Yeah, it's the equivalent of flaunting your new girlfriend in front of your ex-wife. Hey, what's going on? Did you see my new girlfriend? Yeah, they're real. All right, I'll see you later. You know what I'm saying? That bitch. Could the skirt get any shorter? Yes. You know what I'm saying? It can. You know what I'm saying? It can. You know what I'm saying? So I'm with her, not you. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, that's terrible. You know what I'm saying? That is terrible. Yeah, shout out to Tim Black. Tim Black does make good content. So now here it says none of the voters said that they would back Trump, and Kermit Williams, a former councilman in Pontiac, said it was more likely that black men won't vote at all in the 2024 election. There's a lot of black men that are backing Trump. There's a lot of black people that are voting Republican. This is the mainstream media again. This is them using the same tactic that they tried to use with the reparations. This is a piece that's meant to try to knock your confidence down and make you feel like you don't know what you're doing. And yeah, I gotta agree, Patrick Taylor. This is the lesser of two evils BS. When I would hear people say that, I used to cringe all the time. I used to be like, man, what are y'all talking about, man? Don't say that. Don't say that. Because people repeat stuff, and when people repeat stuff, they program themselves with the stuff that they repeat. So that's what, like, I always tell people, like, man, be careful about what you're repeating, because then it becomes autonomic. Bias told the Post that he would still support Biden in 2024 and called him the lesser of two evils. So now you have this narrative that's being run. What is this in the Washington Post? This is exactly what Charlemagne the God is doing on the skeptic grift. Would you guys agree? If you guys agree that this is what Charlemagne the God is doing on the skeptic grift, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. So now here it says the Biden campaign told the outlet that they know they can't take any of the voters for granted. That's not true. They've been doing it for 60 years. We'll stop them now. We know we can't take any of our voters for granted. You have taken voters for granted. And if you had the opportunity, you would do it again. That's just like a shark sitting up there talking about, I know I can't eat all these animals that's in the sea right now. Yeah, you can. And if you had the opportunity and were hungry, you would. What are you talking about? He says, we know we can't take any voters for granted, especially black voters. Black voters are the most vulnerable to the Democrats to be taken advantage of. This is all lies that Joe Biden is saying. Joe Biden would have got off better if he had said, I know that we failed black voters for the last 60 years. We failed. We've literally made no effort to earn the vote that black people have been so faithfully giving us. He'd have had better luck saying that than this nonsense. We know we can't take any voters for granted, especially the black voters, young voters, who've been a crucial block for the Biden-Harris coalition. Michael Taylor, the communications director for the Biden campaign, told the outlet, we have work to do to remind these communities of what we've accomplished for them in the first 3 years. So these communities then are delusional. Everybody's leaving for no reason. We forgot, and you got to remind us. There is nothing to remind us about. You didn't do anything. And so now what they're going to try to do is, notice, we've got to remind them what we've accomplished for them in the first 3 years. Let me ask you guys this question. What has the Biden administration accomplished for you in its first 3 years of office? You wouldn't have to remind anybody. If you actually had tangible products, if you actually had tangible results, if you actually had some impact, but they don't have none of that. They don't have none of that. We have to work to remind these communities of what we accomplished for them. It must not be that impactful then. You must not have done much. If you got to work to make an experience memorable, then that means that you're not making the experience memorable. And this is also an attack on our IQ. We're not dumb. We didn't forget the last 3 years. My short-term memory is very much intact. Let me ask you guys this question. How many people in here do we have with an intact short-term memory? If you have an intact short-term memory, give me a thumbs up in the chat. If your short-term memory is out of whack and you forgot where you put your car keys and you don't know where you are right now, give me a thumbs down. And if you forget about what the thumb down looked like, it's the one with the thumb pointed down. Shout out to Lehman Lucas and shout out to Neil. What's good, y'all? Black voters have revealed over the last year that they are hesitant to re-elect Biden. Some cited his age, while others have been frustrated over his support of Israel. Again, none of these are reasons why anybody said anything. We all know that he's old as Methuselah. We all know that. We all know that Joe Biden is old as Methuselah. Literally everybody knows that. That's painfully obvious. You know what I'm saying? there's more to the quote unquote Israel frustration. Where's the reparations at? Where's the hate crime protection at? Stop calling us people of color. Notice how they don't tell you who they got this information from, who they got these ideas from. Some Democrats in Michigan have said they're worried about the president's standing in the state. One Democrat said his support for Israel was quote unquote costing him. In Michigan, it's costing him with Arab communities, not so much with black people, even though black people, you know what I'm saying, have their views on that. That's not the major thing. You done lost the Arab community up there in Michigan. I even did a video about that. Shout out to Christopher Perkins. What's good with it, bro? Appreciate you. I think that Rashida Tlaib, ain't she's from in Michigan, right? And she's Palestinian and she's from Michigan. Man, that whole block of Michigan people is like, man, we ain't rocking with Biden no more. He's encouraging genocide in the Gaza Strip. They're not rocking with Biden. But that don't have nothing to do with what the black people was doing, though. You know what I'm saying? It says here, it's costing him in Michigan. David Hayner, a Democrat from New Boston, Michigan, told the Wall Street Journal, I wish he would see that he's leaving a huge demographic behind. He doesn't care. He doesn't want us. He thinks that his new huge demographic is coming in at the southern border. That's why he doesn't care. He thinks that his new demographic is down there at the southern border, so he doesn't have to worry about any of this. I don't know, man. I don't know. But what I need everybody to do is after the stream, literally every single narrative that we read in here that was wrong, address it, timestamp it, debunk it. Y'all did a great job in that last stream. Let's see if we can keep up the pace with those comments in the comment section. Y'all also been killing it on the super chats, man. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to my man David Brown. What's good with it, bro? Shout out to my man Kiko with the $5 super chat. Shout out to Al McCowan with the $5 super chat. Shout out to my man Kid Gravity with the 8 months of support, being a member. Shout out to Lloyd Sky 9 with the 5 ducats. Definitely appreciate it, bro. And shout out to Patrick with the $4.99 super chat. I definitely appreciate it. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. If you guys haven't smashed that like button, smash that like button. If y'all haven't hit the bell, make sure y'all hit the bell. Make sure y'all throw that like enforcer emoji in the chat for Tia sitting up there being a like enforcer. Shout out to you. All right. Don't move a muscle. Enjoy the outro music. It'll take you into the stream that's scheduled on undocumented, but I'm going to try to fit one in before that gets started. So make sure you got the alert set. And as always, ladies and gentlemen,
walk up in the life. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like I'm really him. Hold up. Look, walking this bitch like, hey. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like, hey. I'm really him. Don't believe me? Come and see me. Got 3 wishes from my genie. Now I'm on your local TV. Y'all on tour. Got demons. Say she wanna come and see me when I'm in a local city. I'm like, pause though. Please step aside so they can see me. And I walk up in this light. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like I'm really him. On God. Walk up in this light. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like I'm really him. I'm the realest from my city. That's on my knee, that's on Kiwi, that's on mamas. Niggas don't believe me, come and see me. I been dodging all that face. All these niggas working broke, but I been getting paid. All that know me from the street. Flexing for what feature, that's like every other week. Talk behind my back, I kick my feet up, have a seat. Cause at the end of the day, all these watching me as I walk up in this light. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like I'm really him. On God. Walk up in this like, yeah, I'm really him. Talking about shit like, I'm really him on God. Walk up in this like, yeah, I'm really him. Talking about shit like, I'm really him. Hold up, look, walking this like, hey, yeah, I'm really him. Talking about shit like, hey, I'm really him. Hold up.